Before this video begins, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my channel members, who you can see on screen now. Become a member by hitting the join button and get your name here among other awards today. Hello there and welcome back once again to some more Forza Horizon 3. Today we're going to be continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 12. In today's episode, we're going to be expanding the Outback Festival site and seeing what treasures lie ahead of us, and also we're going to be building some form of vehicle that can deal with the bumps slightly better than the previous car did, the Mazda Speed 3.
They are loving the Outback site. It's fantastic. They just wondered if they could have a little more shade, please?
No, not at all. If you've come out to this wretched hellhole, you'll burn in this wretched hellhole. Anyways, it is giving us a choice of a couple of rally cars, and more specifically some Subarus. Subaru sounds like a good idea. Let's go ahead and buy up one of those for today's episode, I think. Although probably not the Subaru you're expecting. We are going to go for the 1980 Subaru Brat GL. Because, why not? It's cool. I don't quite know if it sold in Australia, or if it sold well, if it sold in Australia, but it seems like a cool thing to drive around here to me, and it also seems like it probably suits Australia quite nicely. Lots of people doing Hilux style liveries on it, which I guess makes sense. Me personally though, I don't know. I kind of like the... Should we go with the silver and blue? I actually quite like the silver and the blue. Not usually what I'd go for. I'd usually pick a more vibrant colour. I was thinking of going for the yellow, but I actually decided I kind of want the Brat livery down the side of the vehicle. Just to set it apart, set it off, make it look a bit cool, you know? The Brat is always an interesting one, considering it is essentially, I guess, a ute. Subaru decided to take a station wagon, chop the arse end of it off, and then put seats in the back because the government told them to. Quite a crazy contraption. Outside of America, of course, it didn't need the seats, so it didn't have them. It was sold as the Subaru 284. In the UK, not quite sure if they sold it in Australia. Anyways, we do have some barn finds to collect, so let's collect those.
With this much horsepower, you will rule the wasteland. I asked the Horizon people if I could put on some spikes and crossbows and a flamethrower, but they said no. You have to understand, this isn't just a car. This is a changing room. It's a mobile surf club. It's a drive-in cinema. It's a one-bedroom flat. It's an institution. Big market for Japanese imports out here. Being so close, it's pretty cheap and easy. Of course, it's cheaper and easier to find one in a barn, but we can't all be that lucky.
Alright. That's our two Australian institutions and one old Nissan collected. That brings us up to 5 total barn find cars we've found. I believe there is a total of 20 in the game, 15 in the actual base game. Anyways, let's actually figure out what we're doing with the Brat. Now, the Brat has 69 horsepower stock, so naturally, we're going to throw away that engine. We have a 3.3 litre flat 6, which comes from a Porsche, 2 litre flat 4 turbo from a WRX, Turbo Rally, 2.5 litre flat 4 from something else. I'm actually kind of eyeing up the flat 6. Seems like quite a cool engine to go with. Then again, so does the 2 litre flat 4. Sure, 2 litre flat 4 sounds like a good amount of fun. I do actually want this thing to be relatively quick. I'm thinking A-Class for this one. I don't think it'll go much further than that, in all honesty. Do I want the Forza? Forza wing seems like it might be advantageous to have. I'll keep the rear bumper because, well, if the front's got to have one, may as well have the rear end have one. Do get some off-road tyres, so that's cool. Only go up to 205s, well, that shouldn't be too big of an issue. I'm not planning on completely going mental with this thing. Again, A-Class I think is probably where we're going to end up. Apparently the brakes are in desperate need of upgrade, and there we go. Has got those relatively okay. Should we go for some off-road springs and dampers? Yeah, let's do that. Kind of has a bit more of a Mad Maxy vibe to it now. Although the wheelbase does look a bit off, has to be said. Still, strip out whatever weight is left in this thing, probably not much. And now let's focus on putting some big ass power into this thing. Gonna get a turbocharger. Can't quite upgrade the cams as much as I wanted to, but that's fine. Ooh, that will round us out quite nicely. Can we sneak anything else in here? Nope. We are entirely pushed to our limits. We can get 2 more pounds of weight out of it. There we go. 375 horsepower, 1,831 pounds of weight. A very, very light little car, but, you know, hopefully it should have the off-road capabilities of a champ.
Plenty more stunts and races around here, if you're interested.
I'm always interested. Right, I think the plan for today is that PR stunt down there first. We'll find the barn as well when we head down there. Alright, Brat. Oh, God.
Festival. I tell you what, you should have seen me on the dance floor last night. That nice security bloke even gave me a lead on another abandoned classic when he was escorting me out. I promised I'd pass it on.
Oh, thank you. We'll go up there at some point someday. This car is a lot quicker than the Mazda was. Jesus Christ alive. This thing takes off. Go that way. I like this thing a lot. It's insane. I like the Subaru Brat. I believe this car was first added in Horizon 2. I want to say it was when it was first launched. And I loved it because it was ridiculously cheap. Which is always a good little bonus. But I also loved it because it's kind of mental what you can do with this thing. Again, you know, it's a 69 horsepower ute-ish vehicle, which you can put silly big engines in and then send it to the moon. And that's always sort of been my favourite thing about the Brat, is you can, you know, you can do a lot of things with this car. Whether it's actually competitive or not is entirely up to you, but you can certainly have more than enough fun with a Subaru Brat. You know, unfortunately the really small tyre size does lead to some issues, but on the whole it is a exceptionally fun little vehicle that you can play around with. And yeah, certainly do a lot of damage with. Again, the 205 tyres. I kind of wish you could get bigger tyres on this, but, you know, it's still pretty darn funky and cool. Anyways, we got a PB on that one. Hey, 2 stars, not too bad. I don't think we're actually supposed to be heading over here, but I'm pretty much... It kind of worked out to come up this way, so... Sod it, I guess we will come up this way. We'll bounce and skip our way to this barn find down here. And now apparently perform the worst emergency stop. Right, where are we heading? I would assume around here somewhere, but probably not. Oh, is that it? Nope. That's one of those weird shanty buildings. I keep getting confused with those ones. Sort of many distressed looking buildings in the outback, as I'm finding out. Oh, there you go. A lot of them can be, shall we say, misinterpreted as barns. You can probably see why. This episode is all about barns, apparently. Barns and Brat. What should we call it? Something like that. Barns and the Brat. I don't know. I'll think of a name later on. I'll probably forget I even said anything about the name and name this episode something either really creative or really awful and terrible. And also, that's not the barn. The building next to it's the barn. I crashed into the wrong thing because I'm an idiot. Come on, pull the U-turn. The world's craziest U-turn. There we go. And yeah, let's go ahead and find out what is inside the barn.
Okay, time to open her up. '69 Dodge Charger Daytona. Look at the size of that wing. This is a custom NASCAR racer. What's it doing all the way out here?
look at the size of that wing underneath all the tarp, so you can't actually tell. I mean, obviously, it's the Charger Daytona. If you don't know about the fact that it has a ridiculous wing, then you probably don't know much about cars, but still.
See if I can get it fixed up and maybe find out how it wandered so far from home in the first place.
Because someone imported it, probably. I mean, it's not an entirely hard thing to guess. I know importing American cars into Australia is a bit weird because of the whole issue with driving on the other side of the road. I think the Australian, actually, maybe the Australian government was a bit leaner about that back in the day. So, I mean, it's not all that too, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not all that confusing. It's not like when you come here to the UK and you like see an imported, I don't know, fucking Pontiac Sunbird or a Chevy Cavalier imported, which I haven't seen yet, but I have seen the Sunbird. I've seen... That went well. I've seen a few derivatives of the Sunbird pop up, but yeah, stuff like that is very head scratching. How a very, very famous American car ended up imported. Why would anyone want such a famous American car? Who knows? You know, it's a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit more plausible than someone would want one of those. Also, hey, there's the barn. Let's pilot the Brat over there. Go, Brat, go. Apparently it worked out which side up it wanted to be now. Which is good. Obviously. I didn't want it to be on its arse the entire time. Play the game of which trees are solid and which trees are not. Oh, thank God. That triggered the cutscene there. I was going to say, otherwise we'll be spending about 5 minutes trying to figure out how to get to the barn, because I'll be trapped, which would not be particularly great.
Shall we? It's a Holden Monaro GTS 350, 5.7 litre V8, circa 1973. Sorry, it's just this is an emotional moment for an Australian.
And the not cool version of the Sandman we found earlier.
I'm taking the Monaro back to the shop. I just need some time alone with this thing.
Go up there. Actually, no, go there. That seems like a good idea.
You can have it soon.
Turn around.
You can keep it if you want, mate. Trust me, I'm not too... There we go. I'm not too enamoured with it, to be honest with you. I'm far more in love with my Subaru Brat right now, but, you know, I'll take the Sandman. You can keep the Monaro if you like. The Monaro was one of those weird cars. It got added to Forza 6 before the Horizon 3 sort of reveal or leaks or anything like that, and you know, some Australian fans enjoyed it. The rest of us sort of scratched our heads and was like, this wasn't really necessary. Doesn't really show much of a purpose. Hello, Hennessy Venom, the car that scammed America. Let's see what we've got to do involving this thing. Yep, just as much as I thought. Some form of top speed challenge. Well, at least the Venom can do that. Well, it can also steal money from... Well, actually no, not the Venom itself, just more Hennessy can steal money from people who have Corvettes and Vipers, so they can put money towards making Venoms. What the fuck ever happened to the Venom F5? Wasn't that supposed to be the car that was the school Bugatti and take over the world and show people how great America was? No, I don't know what happened to that thing either. There we go. I was getting a bit worried that we wouldn't hit it there, but we did eventually. Apparently the game cannot stop the car from running away. Hey, Festival Expansion's ready. Cool. Good, good. That's something to do for the next episode. We'll probably expand the Desert Festival one more time, and then we'll sort of head back towards the other festivals and start working on getting those expanded.
We need to expand our festival facilities for all these fans. Portaloos, I'm talking about. We're going to need a lot more portaloos.
Good. So what have we actually got? That one's at level 3. That's at level 4. That's at level 3. Okay, so we'll probably loop round and expand those guys a little bit more. But for now, we don't have to worry about such a thing. We are going to go ahead and... Oh, there's something over there as well. Sorry, we'll go over there quickly. Sort of trying to figure out how to map out a perfect route of going from location to location. Isn't going very well in today's episode, it has to be said, but I'm trying as well as I can. Which I guess you could argue isn't well enough, but, you know. Fuck you. I guess would be my reply to that. 2.6 miles, that's cute. Might try and hit the danger sign on the way back. See if we can get some extra few stars on that for no particular reason. Go, Brat, go! That is much better than previous. I don't know if it's going to give us any more stars for that, but it should do. Hey, there we go, we get 2 stars now. Extra 20,000 fans. And... a bowler. Not Ebola, a bowler. As in a bowler. Bowler? Bowler. Hoon around the gold mine. We can do that. I guess you could say the gold mine is a gold mine. To, you know, never mind. Fits in the Tantrums. That's a name of the band, I guess. Alright, we have 2 minutes to hoon around here. That actually shouldn't be too difficult, in theory. Provided things count as skills when they should, and also the car doesn't fall over something stupid. Which, you know, this is Forza. I won't put it out the possibility that the car can fall over at the last minute. Well, I shouldn't say this is Forza, I should say that's more my horrific luck with almost everything I ever tried to do in my life, ever. But, you know. We're almost there. Oh god, that is... yeah, that was about to be nasty if that bounce did not land the way it should have done. Ooh, we almost at the limit? I think we're almost at the limit. Trying to jump the car over shit more. There we go. That should easily cover us. I don't know if it will... yep, there we go. I was about to say, I don't know if it lets you pass first time. I assume we figured this out in like an earlier episode, but I completely forgot about it, so... yeah, like I said, that one was difficult. It's not really that difficult once you figure out what the handbrake is. Once you figure out what the handbrake is in general, in this game though, life becomes a lot easier. Alright, another bucket list down. That's everything down there conquered with, so we have one more route, a PR stunt. Oh, sorry, 2 more routes. We have this trail race and we also have another thing. We're 20 minutes in and, well, almost 20 minutes in. And, well, by the time we are 20 minutes in, we will probably finally start our first race of today. Cue all the comments screaming about how long it took us to get into a race, I guess. Maybe that's the thing people complain about. I don't actually know. If you do complain about that, you're a bit weird, I guess. But, you know, we can finally put the Brat to the test. I kind of wanted the Brat more for exploration, though. And it has fit in quite well with that particular role I had designated for it, which is always good to see. And stop. That sort of stopped. Mostly stopped. Vans and utility, is that what this counts as? Yes. Okay. I was wondering what this would be under. I kind of thought it would be Cult Classics for a second, but no, apparently it's Vans and utility like the Cyclone was. This is actually our second vehicle like the Cyclone. Probably our last as well. I don't think there's anything more interesting to come from this. Maybe a Ute at some point, but I think we've Well, we had a Ute as the first vehicle, and the only other Ute I can think of in this game is the FPV Ute, which isn't all that interesting, it has to be said. Cool car, just not all that interesting. That is one hell of a paint job on the El Camino, has to be said. Definitely, oh, it's my paint job, of course it is. I think no, actually, I don't recall that being on my El Camino. Also, you can tell what the older cars are because they're bucking, weaving, and going all over the place because they have ridiculous amounts of power and not any form of ability to go around corners, or have not stock suspension, as is the case with most of these vehicles, which is always hilarious. I'm fairly certain for the driver task they never upgrade suspension, or if they do, it's sort of a very, very rare modification. A lot of the old muscle cars, you sort of see them leaning and bucking around. They do that to this day, really. I think they even do that in the motorsport titles, although it has been a long, long time since I played a motorsport title in career mode. Practically, I finished Forza 7's career mode a long, long while ago. So, yeah, thankfully don't have to do much of that, because that career mode, it was, you know, more fun than the previous few Forza titles have been when it comes to the career, but yeah, it's still not great. As you know, I like Forza 5's career. I think Forza 5 was the only Forza game I'd 100%ed up until a couple of years ago when I did the Forza 2 LP. And of course the Forza 1, how do you know? I don't think I ever 100%ed Forza 1. I think in the LP we got to like 99.4%. I think I was like missing a championship race or two, but I really won't bother to go back and complete that one. What did I bother? I might have bothered actually, come to think of it. I might have done, actually. I might have 100%ed Forza 1. I remember specifically doing like a non-recorded thing when I went through with a JGTC car to do something. So I don't know if I actually 100%ed the game then. That might have been what I did. Not 100% sure on that. My voice is going, by the way, I don't know if you can tell. I haven't drunk anything for a... Actually, no, tell a lie, I did down quite a lot of water, so I've got no idea what's going on. I just don't have anything in my general vicinity to drink, and I assume I can reach the end of this episode without choking. We'll see, though. I'm probably going to be my last one on the night, because it is getting a little bit late. So, we'll wrap this one up soon enough. I managed to get an extra 3 in the bag today, though, so that's all good. I like to get stuff in the bag. You know, cats, people, etc. Not cats, don't abuse your cat. I'm not one of those people, fucking hell. Also, apparently some brats came last, which is a shame. Also, another weird, furry-related livery, I assume. No, maybe my worldview's been tainted by fucking furries. Another wheel spin. What are we gonna get? Hey, it's not the Jeep, it's something far more interesting than a Jeep. It's 150,000 credits, which can be used for buying much nicer cars than Jeeps. None of them come off the top of my head right now, but I can buy a lot better nicer cars than Jeeps. Oh, right. That's done. Let's go ahead and discover whatever this is. And we'll go full off-road because I can't bother to drive across the outback. You also love when you upgrade the Brat, the Speedo, which was previously only limited to like 85. It essentially just becomes completely useless because most of the engines you can put in this car would accelerate this car to 60 far quicker than the Speedo can keep up with, so... yeah, or I should say far quicker to 85 than a lot of the other cars can. It's another trial. Let's go on a trial. Across the outback. Yeehaw. Wait. That isn't Australia. Do 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 do. Anyways. Sorry, I'm reading something off camera. People getting angry at my my new favourite thing for Discord. A bot. People getting angry at my bot. I can't understand why. Oh hey, Sandman, that's sort of like bucking and flying everywhere. We did restore ours earlier. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, because it is in other games. I can use it in, so... Then again, as usual, I'm thinking way too far ahead. Which is something I do quite often. So I think a bit too far ahead about things. Because I don't know how much longer this is going to last. Probably not much longer considering my current state of affairs, but we'll see. Shubaru in Poshibu, Shubaru crashed in the siege, Shubaru, 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 Shubaru. Right, I've lost my brain. Anyways, I will say the one thing about the Outback, as much as I don't like building festivals out here, as much as it's my least favourite part of the game, because it's just not particularly interesting to look at or an interesting environment to be in. It does actually make a lot of these sort of cross-country and trail races are a lot better when they're in the Outback, because it is sort of smooth, flat, wide open surface, which means there isn't a whole lot you can mess up, which is nice. I prefer that because I usually cock up a lot of things, so yeah, it does help, but even still, it's not quite. It just isn't particularly interesting to me. What can I say? If you love the Outback, cool. If you love sort of desert settings and stuff, cool. I'm just not into it. It's just not my thing. It's just sort of bland, it's boring, and in general, in real life, I really cannot think of a worse place for me to be than the desert. You know, it's very warm, it's sort of, I don't know. It's not a cool place to be, really, is it? Also, water! Hit the random plane of water that exists out here in the Outback, because apparently Turn 10 was like, whoa, look, the road's too shallow, it gets water onto it. And everyone else looks at it and goes, why the hell is the land and the road shaped like that? Well, there you go. 8,000 XP, not enough to earn us a wheel spin, but there you go. We are going to gain a few more fans and stuff though, which is neato. We're getting there, so that's cool.
You'd better come and get this Minare GTS or I'm never going to be able to part with it.
Hold on! Alright. Let's go ahead and get us to that cool looking PR stunt. I don't know what that is. I think it's a danger sign. I could be wrong. Probably people who are well into this game laughing at me and my inability to guess stuff correctly. Holy shit. That was a flying something. Oh, it's a speed trap. Okay. Well, one thing the Subaru Brat is not is slow in this, guys, so we should be able to get around it. Let's go ahead and launch ourselves in it. I kind of want to go over 100. 1 star, cool. I kind of thought it'd be more than that and slightly more impressive, but it really wasn't, which is a bit of a shame. We're not too far to unlocking the next showcase event though, and of course after we unlock the showcase event, the amount of fans will shoot up quite rapidly. Again, the hard cap for this game is 25 million, so yeah, we've still got quite a ways to go to getting all of them, but again, the game does sort of speed up rather significantly very shortly. I think that is everything. It does feel like I'm missing something from today's episode, but I'm fairly almost 100% certain I did get everything. So we will return back to the festival once again and call it quits here. So thank you all very much for watching. Next time, once again, we will expand our Outback Festival site, try another car, and brace the warm weather once again. And then we'll actually go and do something in some slightly more interesting settings. So thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.